Hello everyone, and welcome back to Cupid Parasite. We're going to be continuing down towards Ryuki. We got a date with him today, and I'm very curious of how this is going to go. I just watched the opening theme again, and I saw some some images of Ryuki, and I'm wondering which one of those is going to be in the date. So I'm really looking forward to this. So yeah, they are at the share house, and the share house isn't going exactly how they planned. So I'm curious of how that turns out. So there is going to be one choice during the date, I'm pretty sure, and then if I continue on, there's going to be another choice. Not too many choices down the common route, I guess, but looks like when you get to Ryuki's, there's a few. The length of this video will depend on how long each of these sections take because I have to record and edit tonight so I can get it out by tonight because I don't want to deprive you guys of another video. But I'm starting early today at 6 p.m. so shouldn't be a problem doing a 2-hour video if it comes to that. All right, it is 11 a.m. on Friday. Oh no, I'm late. Today was my practice date with Ryuki, but I was so focused on work, I didn't realize I was running late. I rushed to our meeting spot. He's going to chastise you for being late. Sorry, Ryuki, have you been waiting long?
Osoi.
Oh, look at him. He's just in a sweater shirt. Nice. So I'm going to lower the volume just a little bit for the background music. It was a little bit much when I recorded the last one, which is going to make the character volumes lower as well, but there's nothing I really do about it. You are late. He glared at me, his brow furrowed even more than usual. And he's going to spray you. He doesn't have his bottle in his hand. Cough, cough. Can you please give that mist a rest?
その顔何？遅刻してくるぐらいならきちんとお手入れすればいいのに。
Sorry, I just didn't want you to have to wait any longer than necessary.
遅刻されるよりも顔面偏差値下がる方が不愉快なんだけど。それに顔もパンパンだし、ちゃんと寝てんの？
Well, maybe not. All these practice days really have been pretty exhausting, but of course I couldn't tell him that. This is my job after all. My date with Rao yesterday was physically demanding, to say the least. What did he do? Take you to the museum? I spent last night writing up a report detailing all the issues with each member, and I didn't finish till after midnight.
しかもその靴も服も最悪。姿勢も悪いし、靴合ってないんじゃない？そんな格好でよくデートとか言えたね。
Yes, Ryuki, teach us how to dress. Sorry. His ruthless remarks really stung, especially since we were on a date and all. In fact, I had chosen shoes specifically for the occasion.
言っとくけど、僕の隣を歩くなら、それなりの偏差値が必要だから。仕方ない。行くよ。
Huh? Oh, wait, what? Without another word, he grabbed me by the wrist and started walking. This is his idea of a date. He's like, come on, let's get this fun out of the way. He was practically dragging me, and for the first time, I was struck by his size. I've only ever seen him in a group with the others, so I never really noticed how tall he is. Walking next to him, I was forced to tilt my head up to look at him. But where are we going? There was no hesitation in his stride. The whole situation was pretty odd, but I decided to just go along with it. Eventually, we found ourselves on the 6th Avenue shopping district.
そこの店に入るよ。
Says she's candies back there. Ryuki ended up dragging me into... What? A beauty salon?
まず、ここでまともな体になってから服を選びに行くから。
So for his date, he's gonna take her around and make her grade higher, and then what? What are we gonna do after that? Acceptable body? Which meant he thought that I was currently unacceptable. As I stood there in shock, the salon beautician came out to greet us.
いらっしゃいませ。本日はどうなさいますか？
店長は？
A manager.
申し訳ございません。店 長は本日お休みをいただいておりまして、本日は私が施術させていただきます。
その指でね。まあいっか。とりあえずここのメニューにあるの全部で。あと施術状況を見たいから僕も中に入るよ。
You're gonna give her every treatment on the menu. What?
エステ中は服を脱いでいただくので、男性の方は
裸ぐらいどうってことないでしょ。それよりあんたがまともにエステできるかどうかの方が問題。
お客様はどちらがよろしいでしょうか。
Oh my goodness. The beautician was clearly unsure of what to do. I don't mind either way, I'm totally fine. You're totally fine. You're totally fine with having a makeover naked, probably behind a towel, but still.
かしこまりました。それではこちらのお部屋へどうぞ。
Oh my goodness. I think I know what CG's going to be in this one then. I think I'm ready. I'd taken off my clothes and lay down on the salon bed. I kept my eyes closed, but since the beautician and Ryuki step inside.
じゃあここで見てるから。
Oh my goodness.
はい。では失礼いたします。
The beautician removed my makeup, then had me flip over and lay on the bed face down. She wiped me down with a hot towel, then began massaging me. The aromatic candles of the warm touch of her hands had me feeling drowsy. As I was drifting off, I heard an annoyed sigh.
その手つき本気でやってる？
はい、そのつもりですが。
I think in that CG, he's the one that's actually applying it. Which I'm actually looking forward to this.
そんな弱い手つきでリンパ液が流れるわけないじゃん。どいて、僕がやる。
失礼いたしました。
That poor girl, man. This is her job. Huh? I heard Ryuki ushering the beautician out of the room. Wait, is he seriously massaging me himself right now? On their date? Like, this is a practice date. Why would you do this with, like, an actual girl? Well, first of all, the girl wouldn't have been in there in the first place, but still. I was too afraid to open my eyes, but it seemed that Ryuki had decided to take her place and was now massaging my back, which you were too afraid, but you don't look very afraid there. He pressed his hands down into my back. There was a clear sense of strength behind this sensation, obviously the hands of a man.
思った通り、全然ほぐれてないじゃん。というか、どうしてこんなに肩凝ってんの？
Because it's you? Actually, she hasn't really been around recently. Oh. I haven't been able to use him as a makeshift massager lately, which is probably why my shoulders have been getting worse and worse. I guess I've just been spending a lot of time hunched over my desk.
デスクワークでもできるストレッチとかあるでしょ。体に溜まった老廃物流していくよ。
He poured a bit of oil into my back and started massaging it into my skin. This is... It feels so good. He pressed into my shoulder blades, then slid his hands down to each side of my back. I guess that's how you flush out toxins. His fingers moved with accuracy and confidence. It was breathtaking. Seriously, I couldn't help but gasp out loud. His approach as a beautician seemed less about relaxing me and more about physically driving stress out of my body. So nice.
変な声出さないでくれる？
That's funny. Sorry, it just feels so good. I've never felt this way before.
だから静かにしてってば。
I'm sure the beautician outside is like, excuse me, you gotta leave before I get in trouble for something illegal. I can't help it, you're just so good at this. I've been to places like this a few times before, but nobody had ever attacked my pressure points with such precision. Not only does he know clothes and makeup, but he understands the physical body itself. No wonder he's the glamour parasite. I was feeling so relaxed I couldn't help but start getting sleepy again. I haven't been getting enough sleep recently, so I'm not sure I can stop myself from falling asleep.
眠かったら寝てていいから。
Oh, all the harsh tone is gone out of his voice now. Yeah, Ryuki's voice is much more gentle than I had ever heard him before. Why can't he sound like that all the time? He's always judging you. If he did, I'm sure he'd find a wife in no time. For my part, I was happy to take his advice. I fell into a deep slumber.
終わったよ。
That's funny. Just a little more.
服とメイクも選ばないといけないから早く起きてくれない？そんなんだから偏差値55の C ランクなんだよ。
C rank is still acceptable, right? Just at the work status. Ah, oh, he wants to get you to a likable status. The irritation in his voice finally pulled me out of my nap. I saw him looking down at me with open contempt.
とっとと服を着て、この後メイク整えに行くから。
It doesn't faze him at all that you're in a towel. Okay. Ryuki strode out of the room with confidence. I feel so light. I stood up, feeling more refreshed than I had in a long time. Even my eyesight seemed a little clearer. I ran my fingers across my cheeks, reveling in their smoothness. A proper salon treatment really is incredible. As I was getting dressed, I almost forgot it was a professional fashion designer who had given me such an incredible experience. After I left the treatment room, the beautician told me the payment had been taken care of. I made my way to the exit. Ryuki, did you really pay for my treatment?
あれぐらいどうってことないから。ほら、行くよ。
He clearly seemed unconcerned about the money. We headed for a nearby makeup store.
いらっしゃいませ。今日はどのようなものをお探しですか？
これとこれとこれをちょうだい。全部ここでつけていくから。
Huh?
はい、かしこまりました。ただいま。
The employee took Ryuki's payment with a confused but eager look on her face. He didn't even give me a chance to take out my wallet. Are you gonna pay for it already? Don't you want to test it out and see if it matches my complexion first?
あんたの肌のコンディションも似合う色も一目見ればわかるから。試すまでもないよ。だいたい試してその後クレンジングで取ったら整えたばかりの肌が疲弊するじゃないか。こういうのは一発勝負が一番だよ。
All or nothing approach. I don't think I know anyone else who'd be willing or able to take that kind of approach. Ryuki just kept proving his status as a genius fashion designer over and over again. I guess since he can literally see colors around people, he must be naturally good at picking out colors to suit them. As I stood there marveling, Ryuki took the newly purchased makeup and got to work on me without hesitation.
やっぱりエステごと今じゃ肌の偏差値が5も違う。これだけやればちゃんと偏差値が上がるんだから真面目にやればいいのに。
A small effort and a lot of money. As he expertly applied the blush, I couldn't help but think what a pain it would be to do this every single day. I know, right? So, the choice here is sorry, but there's no, like, bad endings, so... I don't think this is going to be a choice for any of the other routes later on, since this is Ryuki's date, so I'm going to go ahead and see what he says. I wish I had a professional do this for me every day. I wish I had a professional do this for me every day. I think that's the only way I could keep it up.
毎日プロにとか甘えたこと言わずに自分でもできるように知識身につけたら。そんないい加減な意識だからあんたは偏差値低いんだよ。
He did not like that response. This is sorry, which is the first response. We're going to go back up to that. So we're going to say sorry. Sorry.
謝るぐらいならちゃんとやって。
Do it properly. There's the love catch for him. Despite the harsh words, Ryuki still seemed intent on applying my makeup. He was obviously serious about raising the grade of my face. I could tell he was trying really hard with me. I had to respect him for that, if nothing else. Despite his sharp tongue, lots of girls would love being pampered like this. Of course, this doesn't fix the problem that he won't even recognize the existence of some girls unless he's forced to. And girls above a certain grade already take care of themselves, so his constant critiques would probably just annoy them. I really can't figure out what kind of girl would be right for him. As I was thinking that, Ryuki finished applying my makeup.
はい、終わり。最後に洋服を買いに行くから。
Okay, but listen, about all the spending.
今日はデートなんでしょ。なら、男が払うのが当然。
That's cute. He looks unsure, but I like that look on your face. Wait. A date. I realized that Ryuki was actually treating this like a proper date. Somehow it made me feel kind of embarrassed. That's right. This is his first real date, so to him, it's only natural that the guy should pay for everything. I saw this in another point in his favor. Plenty of single men these days didn't share that kind of view. I'm starting to feel like I might actually be able to help him find a good match. I decided that among all the Parasite 5, Ryuki might actually have the most potential for getting married. I could feel myself getting a little excited at the idea and followed him into an expensive-looking boutique. We're going here? I hesitated at the entrance, and Ryuki turned to glare at me with an annoyed look on his face.
何してるの？早く着なよ。
I actually like this outfit that he's wearing. It looks much more normal than his normal outfit. Okay, I guess. I nervously followed him in. Before I knew it, he was holding several outfits in his hands.
ここに来て。
He directed me to a nearby mirror and held a dress out in front of me. Wow, this dress is actually really cute. He'd found a fantastic outfit in an instant. He really did have an eye for fashion, but then...
ダメだ。
Huh? Wait, seriously?
形が悪い。それに、スカートの丈があんたに合ってない。
He put the dress away and produced the next outfit. He held up one outfit after another, but one by one he returned each of them to their hangers.
ここの服はあんたには似合わない。違う店に行くよ。
That's funny. With that, we were off to another store. Huh? I don't know. I thought the last outfit was really cute.
人には似合う色があるんだよ。さっきの店のベージュはあんたに似合う色じゃなかったから。それにさっきの店は子供っぽすぎる。あんたにはもっと大人っぽい服の方が似合うはずだから。
Well, I guess that would be a compliment, right? I guess this is how a fashion designer would approach things. Him being so particular wasn't really a surprise in the end. He started walking again and I followed after him. I never had anyone so serious about helping me pick out clothes. I have to admit, it kind of feels nice. When I first arrived here, I knew nothing about fashion. I didn't have money anyway. I just borrowed clothes from Gil. From Gil? Really? Borrowed clothes from Gil. Oh, okay. After I met Claire, she introduced me to a few stores with nice clothes, but I still struggle finding my own style.
次はここ入るよ。
Huh? Here? This particular boutique really did have mature feel to it. I'd never been inside a place like this, so naturally I was nervous. But as it turned out, Ryuki wasn't a fan. He held a single outfit up to me before immediately turning around and walking out. Let's keep going for several more stores. Finally, we found an outfit that Ryuki actually wanted me to try on. I headed into the fitting room and then... They're all single colors. There's no design. Then what do you think? Along with the dress, Ryuki had added shoes, a purse, and several other accessories. Coming out of the fitting room, I was incredibly nervous. He looked me over from head to toe, then nodded.
OK、これでいいよ。お会計お願い。このまま着ていくから。
はい。それではタグを失礼いたしますね。
She must wear this. She has to be acceptable. The store clerk removed the various tags and carried the shoe box to the register. I reached for my purse in an attempt to pay, but of course Ryuki stopped me once again.
今日はいいから。それよりそこに座ってて。
Ryuki pointed to the chair in the fitting room, then walked over to the register. I wonder if she's gonna be wearing this to work from now on. And then Ryuki is going to be like much more talkative to her. That would be cute. Is this really okay? He's so much younger than me. I feel weird about letting him pay for everything. How much younger is he? Like thousands of years? How old are you really? This is okay, it's fine. I thought that this might just be the most date-like date so far. Sitting there in the fitting room, I felt a little restless. Eventually, Ryuki finished paying and returned. Thank you, Ryuki.
そういうのいいから。それより、ちょっと髪いじりを。
He's getting more and more of a smile on his face and less of a scowl the more she gets done. Okay. I nodded timidly. He produced a brush seemingly out of nowhere and got to work on my hair. Oh, he's gonna do himself?
キューティクルが剥がれてる。せっかく今一緒に暮らしてるんだから、僕のシャンプーとトリートメント使えばいいのに。
Wow, he's going to share his shampoo with you. What? But I'm sure it's really expensive, right? I feel weird using someone else's stuff like that.
手入れされてない髪でいられるより、使われる方がずっとマシなんですけど。
Oh, are you going to touch it again? Later on. He took some kind of oil from his bag and squeezed a few drops into my hair. I could practically feel it becoming silky smooth. That stuff is amazing. It totally fixed my hair in no time. I need some of this
ただ
stuff.
シリコンが入ってるだけだから、根本的なお手入れのためには、キューティクルを補填するやつ使わなきゃダメ。
I need someone like Ryuki to help me set my fashion straight. I've tried all sorts of stuff to make my hair, you know, more shiny looking, and it just doesn't work.
はあ、トリートメントするために美容院も行きたいぐらいだよ。
What's that look for?
僕の行きつけの店は予約なしじゃ入れてくれないから、また後日にするしかないけどさ。今日帰ったら代わりに僕があんたのシャンプーとトリートメントとブローするから、わかった？
When you get home, huh? You're gonna have the others talking about it. But I can do that kind of thing for myself.
その自分でできると思ってできたのがこのひどい髪の毛でしょ？
I couldn't think of anything to say to that, so I just stared down at the ground as Ryuki kept on combing. A few minutes later,
できた。これでようやく完成。ほら、鏡見て。
are we going to get a screenshot of everything I want to see? I put on the shoes he bought for me and came out of the fitting room. Standing in the mirror was a completely different person. From head to toe, my entire look was completely coordinated. I want to see. Oh, that's cute. I like that hair on her. Wow, this is really incredible. My hair was luxurious, my skin was glowing, and my outfit was something I never would have picked out on my own. The heels were just the right height, and I could feel my posture improving. Even my face felt smoother and more natural. Is this really me? I felt like Cinderella after a visit from her fairy godmother. I couldn't stop staring into the mirror. Ryuki had a clear look of pride on his face. I know, look at that face.
そう、真面目にやれば誰でもこれぐらいマシになるんだよ。それなのに誰もやらないってだけ。あんたも普段からこれぐらい気をつけてよ。そうすれば僕もいちいちミストかけないで済むんだから。
Thanks. So when Ryuki sprays people with his mist, that is just his way of showing that he cares. Realizing that most people would never understand that made me a little sad. Well, anyway, is it okay for me to walk beside you now? Aww.
うん、悪くない。偏差値も10ぐらい上がったよ。
So is she in the B category now? Wow, that sounds like a lot. Before he said my grade was a 55, so I was just a C rank, but if I am a 65 now, that means I'm A rank. Oh. It went up 2 points. Ooh. If I can keep this up, I might even be willing to acknowledge me as a friend. But still, he said he can never see someone as a romantic interest if they don't have a grade of at least 70. I felt like I'd probably have to at least try twice as hard as today to hit that. Quite the hurdle to overcome. Oh, are we interested in becoming a romantic? Grade? Well, if him working on you only puts you at an A, I can't imagine anyone ever hitting romantic grade. But even if I'd only achieved friendship level, I would consider the practice date a success. Now then, why don't we proceed to the actual part of the date? It took a while to get to this point, but ultimately I had to remember that this was his very first date. I wanted to help him create some nice memories, so I held out my hand. He hesitated, but finally took my hand in his. Look at that face. That was a cute little blushy face. We casually strolled around the area, checking out stores and even stopping by a cafe. Before we realized it, the sun had started to set. Oh, we don't get to hear about the rest of it. It's getting dark. Why don't we head home?
そうだね。あんまり遅くまで外にいたら夜寝るの遅くなるし。
That's true. Okay, let's head to the subway station. We held hands again and started walking. Oh, that's so cute. Today was a surprisingly normal date. I silently hoped that the other members of the Parasite Five would follow his example. I was lost in such thoughts as we descended towards the subway entrance. Suddenly, I recognized someone in the crowd. Oh, that's Melanie.
誰？
She's another one of our members. I'm actually her advisor. Oh, looks like she's checking out some clothes.
どこ？
Right there, next to that red sign.
誰も見えないけど。まさかあの黒いもやみたいなやつ？
That black haze? Wow. Wow, that's cruel. Black haze? Wait, can you really not see her? Is her facial grade that low?
ああ、そうかも。顔面偏差値が低いものを見ると不快になるから無意識のうちに見ないようにしてるんだと思う。
Wow. Is that why he's ignoring all those girls that came to the parasite house? You subconsciously?
人間って自分を守るためにできてるんだよ。
Self-defense mechanism. Oh my goodness. I looked to see at Ryuki to see if he was joking, but he was just staring intently at the sign. He really couldn't see her, apparently. So he wasn't just speaking metaphorically about the whole thing, he was being literal. I was standing there in shock at this revelation when I heard Melanie's voice call out. Oh, hello, Melanie. I know, they're still holding hands. It's okay, we're just doing a bit of training.
何の研修なんですか？
Not talking to her.
聞こえてますか？こんにちは。
Don't let him speak to her. He's gonna be so mean.
あれ
He's totally ignoring her. Seeing him ignore her like that reminded me of how he reacted during the party. It's like he can't even acknowledge her existence. I'm really sorry, but we need to get going. Please excuse us, Melanie.
はい。私こそいきなり話しかけちゃってごめんなさい。
It's totally alright. I'll see you at our next meeting, okay? Come on, Ryuki. Time to go. He honestly never noticed she was there. I took him by the arm and dragged him down the subway. After getting on the train, I breathed a sigh of relief. That was so nerve-wracking. Melanie just seemed more curious about what was going on than anything. I hope she didn't realize he was completely ignoring her. Even if I tried yelling at him, I'm sure Ryuki wouldn't understand since he genuinely didn't know she was there. If this is really how he works, things could be even worse than I thought. Like, for example, if he starts dating a girl that just barely passes, when she takes off her makeup, she might just disappear. It's possible that his facial grade problem might disappear once they've been together a while and formed a bond, but he said he can only interact with C-rank faces at work and that he wouldn't even recognize D-rank faces. In other words, there's no world in which he can hold a conversation with a D-rank girl. And even with a score of above 55, he'll only deal with her as if a part of his job. So that means they need to reach at least B rank before he can even acknowledge their existence outside of work.
何？そんな顔してみて。
Sorry, I was just thinking of how to deal with something. Ryuki looked confused. He obviously had no idea what I was talking about. I had to admit that he was innocent, in a way, and didn't mean any harm, but that just left me feeling even more exasperated. Even after such a relaxing massage, I can feel my shoulders getting tight again already. I started rubbing my shoulders with my free hand and Ryuki shot me another disapproving glance. I could feel him judging my posture. Immediately, I did my best to sit up straight. All I could think about was getting home as soon as possible. Yeah, we're definitely gonna keep going. Wedding disruption. That's not what I see in the walkthrough, but it's probably just named something different. Saturday, 11 p.m. after Alan's practice date. Oh. I'm exhausted. My final date was finally over. I was completely exhausted and rolled onto my bed. I started with guilt on Tuesday, then came Owen and the pool. Owen. Wait, he didn't send the president. Why? Why? She said that it was mandatory. Whatever. There was also my mythical date with Rao. Mythical. A fashion-filled date with Ryuki, and finally last date with Alan. All of them had their highs, but there are a lot of adjustments that need to be made. Gil is over-attentive. Monster SA can't stop proxying everything. Rao would be fine if it weren't for his obsession with myth. Ryuki was lovely, but he thinks he's a 10 and everyone else is a 5. And Alan won't stop flirting. There's also the fact that he prefers women who are already taken. There's much to be desired. I can't wait to see their date. I'm not confident that the overall situation has improved even 1% this past week. Tomorrow, the second episode of Parasite House will air.
これから1ヶ月間、彼らはここで婚活トレーニングしてもらう予定さ。来週にはどんなメンズに成長してるかな?
All according to Bomber Chorizo anyway. I did send them some advice. Naturally, Gil was all fingers and thumbs, and true to himself, Raul worked and missed somehow. Ryuki just sent me a beauty haul list. I just sent my notes to Alan, so he hasn't responded yet. Thankfully, Monster SA responded instead of his proxy. Oh, I say that's worth something. Oh, are you sure though? Like, it was over text message. Miss S, I completely understand. Who's this from? But his response is unbelievably short. Okay. While I looked at Monster SA's message, I got a response from Alan. I was kind of short in my message. Hopefully he takes a hint and reflects on his actions. I reminded him to not try to bed girls for fun, to keep his hands to himself, and asked him if he really wants to get married. I really hope he would look deep inside himself for a proper response as I opened up the email. I hope you had as much fun today as I did. If you start feeling lonely and can't fall asleep, or you just want to spend some time alone with me, come find me. I'll take good care of you. Whatever. He doesn't get it at all. She's not in a relationship. I think you're breaking your trend of only wanting the girls that are taken. I felt objectively disappointed by Alan's response. Whatever, I'm going to sleep. I didn't have the energy to respond. Instead, I turned over my smartphone and took out the pillow I was gifted. This pillow is like a cloud. If only Chi was here with me. My shoulders go stiff in response to today. I glance around, but Chi is still missing in action. Did Chi really go back to Celestia? He was always on my side ever since I descended to the human realm. Naturally, I miss him, plus I wanted that electric shock. It's probably because you're in the Parasite house now. Maybe I should ask Aunt Minerva about him. Drowsiness overwhelmed me. It was impossible to think straight. I sink into the cloud-like pillow and fall asleep. The next morning, Everyone dressed to the nines and was traveling via Rao's private jet. Oh, where are we going?
うわーすごい空飛んでるラウルこんなすごい乗り物持ってたんだねやっぱ空飛ぶのはロマンだよな
If it weren't for like it saying it was Gil, I wouldn't even know it was him.
わかるやっぱり空はいいよねギガントマキアが起こらないかワクワクするよ
Where are they going? Gigantomachia is supposedly the war between the Day Constituents and the Titans to control the universe. It was one of the stories that Dad talked about a lot, at least I think that's what it was.
俺も急に車が空飛んだりしないかワクワクするよ
Gil and Rao gazed out the window with glee. Their conversation is a bit nonsensual, but hey, they're getting along.
自家用ジェットかなかなか便利だな私も導入を検討するか
Sorry, I was too busy looking at your outfit to read this. Hold on. But your outfit is too much like your hair. You need some contrast.
み
Oh
ん
my
な
goodness.
枕持ってきたよ使う
I don't like his outfit at all.
あ助かります
His is the same as usual.
携帯加湿器も持ってきたジェットって乾燥するから
I don't like his at all either. No, it's not a cape. He's just wearing it over his shoulders. Oh my goodness. Looks like everyone is getting along better than I imagined. I wasn't about to do much advising for everyone during our date week, but maybe because of that. The Parasite 5 plus 1 seem to be getting along while still being themselves plus 1. That's funny. I guess the president is there as like a manager, so to speak, but still. It's nice when everyone's at ease. If they can keep this up and be capable of talking to women too, we can drop the Parasite from Parasite 5. I have to make sure tonight's broadcast goes off without a hitch. That way the viewers will be behind them all the way. I was hyping myself up inside my head while I looked at my nails that had been done by Ryuki. Oh, that's cute. I was wearing a frilly skirt that had a bit more flair than I usually wear. Ryuki decided to match my nails with it. It's adorable. I find it helpful that he does this kind of thing without being asked, but his hurtful words still weigh heavily on my heart. He flat out said that my nails and skirt don't match. He even removed my manicure from the shop. Oh my goodness. Anyway, we're going to a wedding ceremony. I look around at everyone. They're all properly dressed for the occasion. I don't like their outfits though. Oh my goodness. Like, Ryuki's and Alan's just look strange. The president looks like a president, and then Gil's and Rao's looks fine. Today we're all going to participate in a wedding ceremony. A member kindly invited us out of goodwill. They liked the first episode of the Parasite House and really were enamored with the Parasite 5. That member then reached out to the other bridal advisors in order to invite us to the wedding. Upon getting word of that, the TV producer negotiated a live broadcast of that wedding for the show.
これで今度は間違いなく撮れているはずだな
Peter, the assistant director, is also here on the jet. According to the little subheading though, it doesn't sound like it goes well.
ちょっとあんた服すらまともに着られないの
Ryuki is adjusting Peter's shirt button.
ふむなるほどこうすればいいのだな助かったぞ人の声を
Fellow human. Hey, at least you're high enough grade for him to talk to you. Peter is just as weird as the rest of us, the Parasite 5. I'm so worried about the second broadcast. I hope it goes well. Still, we were invited to a wedding, so I have to give it my all. I need to get the Parasite 5 hearing wedding bells. If they see the wedding, then they should get bitten by the marriage bug too. I'm certain of it. Well, kind of certain. I'm not so sure about that. Half of me is anxious, the other half is hopeful. The jet continues soaring through the skies towards the wedding chapel. And then we arrive at the chapel and freshen up. Thus began the second episode of Parasite House. Here we go.
はい路線欲の君たちチャンネルはそのままパラサイトハウスの時間だよ 番組の司会は前回に引き続き僕みんなのボンバーチョリソーがお送りします。知ってるかい？今日はなんとキューピッドコーポレーションの会員の子に結婚式に呼ばれたらしいんだ。素敵な結婚式を見て婚活男子たちはどんな顔をするのか、ぜひ楽しんで見ていってくれよな。さあカメラさん、式場の様子のレポート頼むぜ。
That is super decorated and colorful. Flowers everywhere.
このピーターが責任を持って順番に移していくぞ。
おう、カメラマンさんはピーターっていうのか？ Thank you ピーター。でも返事が来たのなんて初めてだぜ。
Maybe Peter should have stayed quiet. This live broadcast has so many potential pitfalls. Suddenly the camera pans to me. I smile politely and wave. Good evening, everyone. Tonight we are at the wedding chapel located on 18th floor of Cupid Corporation. Oh wow. Oh yeah, I forgot they have their... Wait, what? They're on the 18th floor of the Cupid Corporation. Where did they fly to then? I'm so confused. I don't know.
Wow! Cupid Corporation には結婚式場まであるのかい?
I know. Where did they fly to? I'm so confused. Maybe this is like a corporate building or something. I don't know. Yes, our motive is from that fateful first moment to your wedding vows. We support our members from first meet to I do. We also have a wedding dress boutique located on the first floor. Members can get easy access to a wedding consultation.
そいつは心強い味方だな。じゃあカメラさん、素敵な結婚式場の様子を映してくれるかい?
Bomber Chorizo shouted the direction, and Peter turned the camera on the bride and groom. I took that chance to check in with the Parasite 5. Immediately, Gil's eyes lit up with joy as he looked at the newlyweds-to-be.
わあ、あのドレス綺麗。
He looks really cute without his glasses. That's the exact reaction I wanted from Gil. Now, what about the others? Don't care. Owen was snapping pictures with his phone. I assume they're for Monsieur Essay, who's in person.
なんで白いスーツにあの靴を合わせるわけ？ねえ、不愉快だからコーディネートしてきたいんだけど。
No. You can't be rude about the groom's fashion at his wedding. It's his wedding. Ryuki was obviously put off by the fashion choices of all the attendees, the groom included. Well, at least they're not a black haze, right?
へえ、結婚式のセットか。稽古なのに随分大掛かりだね。ところで結婚といえばジュノーだけれど。
Rao already got started on the relationship between marriage and mythology. He still thinks this is just training.
へえ、君既婚者なんだ。ちょっとここで二人きりで話さない？
No. Alan, we're on TV right now. Control yourself. Alan takes any and every chance to hit on the wedding attendees. The president is already typing up a message.
なるほど。
At least he's working on his laptop instead of his phone. Still, he's knee-deep in business. The president is fine, though. He's in the corner of the room. Still, only Gil is reacting positively to the wedding.
彼女のウェディングドレス姿、早く見てみたいな。できれば、俺が。
He's so cute. So, we're back to talking about her again. As usual, everything comes back to her with Gil. After the date week, I recommended a few people to Gil. However, he simply apologized and turned them all down. I still have to press him on this girl he keeps thinking about. Pretty sure it's Clarice, though. Why don't you just ask him? I'll support his desires if it looks like he has a chance. But if it looks like nothing will change, I'll urge him to move on. While thinking that, I joined in celebrating the bride walking down the aisle. Just ask him. A few minutes later, everyone moved to the party room for the reception.
さあさあ、ここからはお待ちかねの披露宴だ。ごちそうとケーキ入刀。今日はスタジオにいるこっちは生殺しだぜ。じゃあカメラマンのピーター君、会場の様子のレポートバッチリ頼むよ。
任せてくれ。
Pete, get that camera right side up.
む、こちらか。
いだ、あ、
Oh my
何？
goodness. That scared me because my controller vibrated too.
すまない、カメラをぶつけたようだ。
How dare you?
大丈夫ギル？
うわっとラウル・アコニットが映るだけでスタジオは大騒ぎだ。でも僕は他のメンズも素敵だと思うぜ。
I'm surprised the bride and groom agreed to this because this is a show for the Parasite 5, so they're kind of like stealing her spotlight here by being there.
あはは、うん、大丈夫。ありがとう、ラウル。
Gil and Ra are pleasantly chatting. At the time, the bride and groom started their speech, so the camera panned to them. Ral took the chance to whisper something into Gil's ear.
ねえギル、サタンが現れたんだけど、君に助けてもらえない？
What? The devil?
これだよ、このまがまがしいオーラ。
What is he talking about? Ral pointed at an oyster. Pardon, but you said the devil. Do you mean this oyster?
忘れもしない。今から8年前、ボルトモアへ家族で行った時に俺は会ったんだ。あの地獄の底から這い上がってきたサタンに。
That's really funny.
俺はこのサタンに襲われ、地獄の苦しみを味わった。でもその時に神に救ってもらったんだ。
He dragged you down.
ああ、そういえばラウル苦手だったよね。生牡蠣食べて当たったんだっけ？美味しいのにもったいない。
I see all stars again. I heard Gil swipe Ral's oyster, then he tipped it into his mouth.
ギル、ありがとう。命の恩人だよ。
俺は生牡蠣好きだから嬉しいよ。ボルトモアにいた頃はよく食べたけど、ロサンヨークに出てからは全然食べてないし。
I know you're not supposed to eat with your mouth full, but that was adorable. Oh, come to think of it, Baltimore is Gil's hometown. Baltimore is a port. Baltimore? Okay, whatever. It's Baltimore. Is a port town far away from Lost York. I remember him telling me that he came to Lost York to go to college. I look at Gil chewing on the oyster while still fixating on Rao and Ryuki.
あ、ラウルこぼしてるよ。ほら、布巾で拭いて。計算員くんもお肉残さないでもっとバランスよく食べなきゃ。
野菜だけで十分だよ。
Okay, I thought he was referring to him by last name, but I was confused for a second.
お肉も大切な栄養分だよ。
Gil sounds like someone's mother. I don't have a real mother, so I wouldn't know if that's true. Still, he is acting like a stereotypical movie mom. I'm kind of jealous. I want someone I could call mom. Aw. My mom is Venus, goddess of beauty, but she's not really motherly. That's why I've always yearned for a movie mom.
あ、リネット、グラス空になってるよ。ほら、このメニュー表から選んで。
Thanks, mom.
おか？
今ギルのことをお母さんって呼んだ？
Poor Gil. He wants to not be seen as a mom. He wants to be your boyfriend. Oh my god. I'm sorry, Gil. It's just that you were acting like a mother, so I couldn't help it.
お母さん。
Aww.
お母さん。それが相手にしてもらえない理由か。それでも俺は尽くすことしかできない。
Oh, it makes me want to cry.
それでおかわりはどのドリンクがいい？
Oh, something non-alcoholic, please. Maybe like a version fuzzy navel.
了解。すみません。ファジーネーブル一つお願いします。
はい、かしこまりました。
Poor Gil. Thank you, Gil.
これくらい大丈夫だよ。
They just made him awkward.
ギル、頑張れ。
Oh, sorry, Gil. You got your work cut out for you.
それではこれからケーキ入刀です。どうぞ皆様お近くでご覧ください。
The MC was now announcing the cake cutting.
おう、こいつはご注目だ。はい、パラサイト5。みんな、ちゃんと結婚式を見てるかい？
I know, see, the camera's going back to the Parasite 5. Peter turns the camera on us when Bob or Teresa spoke. Oh right, we're in the middle of our show. I snapped back to reality and turned to look at the Parasite 5. The president and Owen were still working at the moment. The camera is live, you two.
ああ、失礼。
The president rose from his seat, smartphone in hand, and moved out of view of the camera. Why? Owen turned his laptop towards the camera and showed the email he was writing.
私はこの結婚式についてクライアントにご報告しておりました。
お世話になっております。本日の報告です。ってめっちゃ事務メールじゃん。っていうか相変わらず本人いないんだね。
He is. He just moved out of the camera.
そのために私がおりますから。
代理結婚でもいいぜってお嬢さんはぜひ S 氏を応援してあげてくれ。ところで計算員くんは何かを書いてるみたいだけど何してるんだい？
I turned to look and see what Bomber Teresa was talking about. I see it seems Ryuki was drawing in a crocus sketchbook. Oh.
違うな。ここは赤じゃなくて。
Oh, I really like that image. Ryuki-kun, what's this?
いい案が浮かんだからデザイン中。今度のうちの新作にするよ。それってここは折り返して、あ、裏地は紫もいいな。
Ryuki continued to sketch while taking inspiration from the outfits around him.
ふん、あの人、あのスーツにあの柄のネクタイ合わせたんだ。結構いいコーディネートじゃん。
His gloves barely cover up his hand. Breaking news, Ryuki actually complimented someone else's style. Who? I urgently whispered that to him. Ryuki proudly pointed in a specific direction.
あの人が着てるやつ。あれ、実は僕が作ったスーツなんだよね。
Of course it got complimented. What, really?
僕が作ったスーツ？計算員くんがあのスーツを作ったのかい？
I know, what would happen if the guy found out that the designer of his clothes is right there? Absolutely. Ryuki-kun is a creative designer for our Yuki brand.
ああ、その店俺知ってるよ。7番街にあるよね。
わお！その若さで店を持ってるって、そいつすげえよ。ぜひ僕の服も仕立ててもらいたいぐらいだぜ。ってことでどうだい、計算員くん？
No.
今いいところだから黙って。
ストイックなボーイ。嫌いじゃないぜ。
それではブーケトスです。結婚したい皆さんどうぞ前へ。
あ、ブーケトスが来た。行かなきゃ。
It's for women, not men. Ryuki was still sketching. Gil frantically got up and dashed over to the crowd of women gathering there. Oh no. In the midst of the crowd, Gil jumped for the bouquet but took a tumble. Oh my goodness. Naturally, Peter got the perfect shot of the entire flop. Every viewer in Lost York saw Gil fall flat on his lovelorn face. The rest of the wedding was thankfully uneventful. With that, the second episode of Parasite House came to a peaceful end. Poor Gil. I'm exhausted. Upon returning to share house, I collapsed onto the sofa.
大丈夫？今ハーブティー入れるから。
Are you sure? Oh, not
あ
auto.
れお母さんじゃなかったの
Let that go.
大丈夫？疲れが取れるようにゼウスとヘラ、ジュピターとジュノーのことね。二人の喧嘩話読み聞かせしようか？
Hard pass route. I roll around on the sofa while looking at some reactions to today's broadcast. Let's see, let's try hashtag Parasite House. Let's see, Ryuki is just too adorable. Boys are so cute when they try to act all serious. That's Ryuki F. Kaisen, right? Does he have anything to do with that fashion brand Kaisai Inn? Wait, Ryuki related to the actual founder of Kaisai Inn? That's all I want my boyfriend to wear. Now I'm really interested in him. Wow, it's like 99% Ryuki. It seems that everyone swooned over how he looked when drawing up a design. I know, I liked it too. They're all talking about how cute he is or how they want to baby him. Some of them are even asking him to step on them. What? But this is really good considering how popular Ryuki would become. I hope I can make a match for him soon. Look, Ryuki-kun, you're trending. Everyone really likes you. He doesn't care. The parasite in question glanced at the smartphone screen, then went back to spraying you in the face. He misted me again.
そんなの見る前にやることあるでしょ。
Yes, sir, yes, sir. I'll go remove my makeup and do my nighttime skin routine.
あとパックも。
Yes, sir. Ryuki glared at me, so I put down my phone and dashed to the sink. As always, Ryuki is doubly strict on people who don't put beauty before all else still. Since our date the other day, he seems a lot more mild. His Mista tag hasn't changed, but he at least is more helpful now. Previously, he just ignored my presence. The fact that he's paying attention to me is a major step forward. Of course, I'm sure I'm leagues away from making a match for him. He still has a long way to go. But in this moment, I really thought we were making progress. I wonder if the common route changes based on who you date in that last section. Next section, huh? Pride of man. Yeah, that's funny. The last section, like the wedding crasher or whatever it was called, is not even in the walkthrough. Do I continue? Yeah, I'll continue. It's only, what time is it? 7? A few days after the last episode.
みんな出かけている間にシーツ洗うけどいいよね。
ああ、ありがとうギル。
Thanks, Mom.
よろしく。
この洗剤でお願い。肌に優しいから。
ありがとうございます、ラブクラフトさん。社長が気にかけてハウスキーパーでも入れようかとお話しされていましたが。
平気平気。俺結構家事好きだし、彼女の前でいいとこ見せたいし。
One who called you mom.
彼女？
なんでもないよ。とにかくみんな行ってらっしゃい。
Thanks a bunch, Gil.
稽古終わったら帰るから。
It seemed like everyone was getting used to daily life in the house. I guess things have a way of working themselves out. As I walked to the office as usual, I thought more about the daily lives of the Parasite 5. Because of my date week, I've been doing most of my work remotely. It's been a while since I've spent much time in the office. Today I've got an interview with a local magazine about Parasite House. I guess I should give Lost York TV the credit they deserve. The response to Parasite House has been pretty amazing. Cupid Corp membership has seen a huge jump, and all the negative press from before has been dying down. Claris's system development department has also been managing an official Parasite House blog. They've mostly just been posting everyday live sort of stuff, but people seem to really be enjoying it. Parasite 5 deserves some of the credit too, of course, so to thank them I need to put all my efforts into finding them wives. I arrived at the office and stood waiting for the elevator. After a second I realized someone was standing next to me. Oh, Mr. Snail, good morning.
ああ、おはよう。今日は出社日だったか。
He was composing an email even while talking to me. He was gone before I woke up, so I hadn't seen him since the night before. Oh well, I've got an interview with a local magazine. They want to talk to me about Parasite House.
ほう、そうか。ところで、パラサイト5の方はどうだ？
I like how he's asked that as he's like looking away since he's one of them. Well, they've got a bit of a reputation, so it's not exactly smooth sailing just yet. I've mainly been trying to understand their preferences better and introduce them to good potential matches. I hope my battery lasts till the end of this. For example, Gil should avoid girls that remind him of his ex, so I'm focusing on girls that are the opposite of Claris. That's funny, she put a name to it in front of him. And Monster Essay is the prestige parasite, so I've been recommending girls that may be eager to dedicate herself to his success. For Rel, I tried introducing girls who are into mythology, but apparently he already knows all of them. That's funny.
ああ、この子たちにわかで全然神話好きじゃないよ。多分俺がパラサイトハウスに出てるからわざと神話好きって書いたんじゃない？
I can see that happening. So of course he rejected that one too. Ryuki didn't show the least bit of interest in any of the photos I showed him. I thought I picked out some of our most attractive members, but he couldn't have cared less. As for Alan...
へえ、かわいい子だね。会ってみようかな。
Oh. Didn't even ask if she was taken. When he talks like that, it makes me nervous. I insist on coming to their meetup, and right away he asks if she has a boyfriend. Ultimately, she was the one who turned him down. Gil had an excuse for every single one. This one isn't his type. This one is just a little too young, stuff like that. To be honest, I'm kind of at a loss right now, but I'm not about to give up yet.
そうか、頼もしいな。しかし、一体彼らの何がダメなんだ？地位も家柄もルックスもいいだろう。
Right, but that's not the issue. The fact is, it seems like none of them have any interest in actually getting married.
我が社の会員なのにか？
Yeah, exactly. It's like none of them are in any hurry, so they're not taking any of this seriously. We've had members whose parents forced them in to join and things like that, so they had no interest, but never anything as bad as this.
S 氏は切実だと聞いたが。
I get the sense that he does feel pressure into getting married, but he doesn't actually want to, so it's difficult. It feels like he treats getting married like applying for a license or earning a certificate or something.
そうか。なるほど。確かにそうかもしれないな。
Also, this is just my opinion, but they all have pretty fulfilling lives, so they might not see any point in getting married.
なるほど。つまり皆を結婚する気にさせればいいということだな。
Right, but even then, that still might not be enough. They still need to deal with their parasite personalities. Otherwise, that'll be a constant obstacle. If they can fix that, only then could I be confident in saying things will turn out okay.
お前から見てどうなんだ？女性として彼らは魅力的ではないのか？
Absolutely not. I would immediately reject every one of them. That's funny. How does she go from this to going and falling in love with one of them? I don't understand.
お断り？先ほど地位も家柄もルックスも申し分ないと言っていたはずだが。
Generally speaking, sure, but status and looks aren't what matter to me.
興味ない。一体なぜ？
Well, because I don't think that's where a person's value comes from. It's what's on the inside that matters most. That's what I learned back in Celestia. Relationships based on status, looks, family, things like that, they always end poorly. Of course, those things can still lead to true love, but it usually relies on coming to love what's on the inside too. Oh. Oh. What's on your inside, Mr. Snail? I mean, those things can have value when looking for a partner, but if that's your focus, I don't think you'll reach your goal.
なぜそう思う？
Like, if I went out with Gil, he'd just compare me to his lost love forever, and I might never even meet Master Essay. Ryuki wouldn't acknowledge me without my makeup, and Raul would spend every waking second talking to me about mythology. Alan, meanwhile, was completely out of the question in every way possible, but I didn't want to get into that with the president. Part of our company's terms of service is that anyone who has no genuine desire to get married will be removed from the program. Still, as long as there are members, I have to keep fighting for them. As the god of love, and in order to earn my promotion, I intend to see every one of the Parasite 5 get married.
そうか。頼んだぞ。
Just then the elevator arrived and a mass of people stepped out. Our conversation about the Parasite 5 had come to a natural end, so as we got onto the elevator, we stood in silence. Once I was by myself, I thought about our conversation.
まさか地位に興味がないという女性が存在しているとはな。だが普通人間は地位に惹かれるはずだ。
I'm one of those. I don't care about social status. Every piece of media in the world confirmed that fact. Movies, novels, in every case, people of status were the popular ones. And with our company, the ones who find partners the fastest are always of higher standing.
だから私は間違っていない。私がやるべきは地位を高め維持すること。
Is that what he thinks makes him attractive? Is having his status? I wonder.
人は地位しか見ていない。結局最終的に選ばれるのは地位ある人間のみなのだから。
Yeah, I thought this was all about, I thought his prestige parasite personality was all about him just wanting to be good at what he does, but if he's trying to get SS rank to be desirable, that's a really cute, I guess, flaw of his. I can't wait to read his route next. She's gonna fall in love with him. It's not gonna be anything about your status.
今日はインタビューよろしくお願いいたします。
Yes, absolutely. Sitting in the conference room, I exchanged pleasantries with the interviewer and editor from Gossiper Weekly. They want to do a special feature about the Parasite House, and they're going to promote Cupid Corp along with it.
見てますよ、パラサイトハウス。すごく面白い番組ですよね。ラウル・アーコニットの意外な素顔も見られて。
I'm glad you like it. She mentioned Raul's other side, but boy, if they only knew. I just smiled and kept my mouth shut.
それでは早速、御社のシステムについてお伺いさせてください。
Of course, so everyone who joins Cupid Corp is assigned their own personal bridal advisor. I launched into the same explanation I would give to any new member. Our revolutionary Cupid system creates a detailed member database that makes suggestions based on each person's profiles. We offer group events, casual cafe chats, and lots of other ways to meet potential mates, all tailored to the member's personality. We also have a wedding chapel on site, which helps to remind everyone why we're here and amplify the entire process. I'm still confused on why they had to take a big jet to a wedding site that was, if it's apparently on site, I don't know.
へえ、
結構しっかりとサポートしてくれるんですね。婚活ってもっと放置されるものだと思っていました。
Our members are our top priority. Our slogan is from your first encounter to your final vows, and we're committed to that goal.
さすがですね。キューピッドコーポレーションがこの忙しいロサンヨークのビジネスパーソンたちに人気なのもよくわかる気がします。それでは次はキューピッドコーポレーションの創設者であるシェルビー社長についてお伺いしたいんですが。
I thought he didn't even know about your interview until today.
ああ、お宅の社長さんすごい愛妻家ですよね。前にどっかのウェブの記事で奥さんとの日々について話されていたの読みましたよ。
Right, I believe I saw that article. Oh crap, she must be talking about that article with the picture at the back of my head. I hope that doesn't cause trouble. Okay, he's not actually there. I thought he was there for some reason. I decided I should probably talk to him about that after the interview, then I thought more about what the article had said. He talked about his daily life with his wife, how they decide what to eat, what they do on their days off. But with what I know about Mistress now, it's hard to imagine him living that kind of life. The more I get to know him, the more I have to wonder how accurate his public persona really is. I know, because you work with him, you know his work life. I mean, the man described in that article really seemed excited and energetic, which is kind of odd. He said how much he loved his wife, which is great, but I just couldn't imagine him saying all that stuff with a straight face. The article also mentioned how much he values the time he spends with his wife, but he's been at Parasite House this whole time. And whenever I see him, all he's doing is writing work emails. Is it really okay for him to be spending so much time away from home? Suddenly, I felt the temperature in the room drop. A cold wind tugged at my clothes, and I realized... Huh? This feeling? It's the exact same feeling I used to get when another god would pass close by me in Celestia. Oh? I glanced around, but I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. I guess it was just my imagination.
どうかされましたか?
Sorry. Yes, everything's fine. I gave my head a small shake to clear my mind and turned to focus back on the interview. But that feeling of godly presence lingered. A few days later, it was time for our next episode of Parasite House. Oh, we get 2 episodes in this one?
みんな、準備はいいか?
はい。
I thought she was going to ask him about his home life after the interview. Dang it, I wanted to hear that. We'd reached the 3rd episode and everyone seemed to be getting into the flow of things by this point. Everyone's been so much more relaxed lately. Life's been good at the share house, so I think today's episode should go smoothly. That's what you think.
では中継が始まるぞ。
I hope my battery lasts throughout this whole thing. We'll find out.
はい、ロサンヨークの君たち、チャンネルはそのままパラサイトハウスの時間だよ。番組の司会は前回に引き続き僕、みんなのボンバーチョリゾーがお送りします。今日のテーマは家事だということで、パラサイト5に家事をやってもらうよ。
Really? Well, Gil's gonna ace this one.
それではパラサイトハウスへ行ってみよう。はい、パラサイト5たち、元気かい？
はーい、元気だよ。
お、いいね。ところで、ラウルは何持ってるんだい？
今日のテーマは家事でしょ。だから俺の考えるアンブロシアを作ってみようと思ってさ。
Ambrosia. That's funny. I'm pretty sure ambrosia is not supposed to be that dark and definitely not that thick. I only know what ambrosia is through The Sims 4. It like brings Sims back to life if they die. But I'm sure it's related to mythology somehow.
ああ、やっぱり栄養素たっぷりの食材で作ればそれっぽくなるかなと思ってたんだけど、途中から違うかなって。
Al just stood there with a goofy grin on his face as he stirred his bubbly concoction. Ryuki snatched the container and poured it down the sink and turned on the garbage disposal as if to emphasize his disgust. That's really funny. Poor Rao. Oh my goodness.
ああ、アンブロシアが。
はあ、せめて食材無駄にするならパックに使えるもの作ってよ。
Make food into a facial treatment?
今の泥パックっぽくて良くなかった？
Oh my goodness.
あんなの肌につけたら荒れるに決まってるよ。
Alright, let's check on Gil. I believe he's working on a really amazing dish right now. Follow me. I guided Peter over to Gil. When he saw me coming, his eyes lit up.
すごい料理だなんて照れるな。今作ってるからもうちょっと待ってね。実は昨日から下ごしらえしてたんだ。
He only started preparing yesterday.
お、もしかしてギルは料理男子ってやつかい？
いや、そこまでじゃ。
He said that, but at the same time, he was seasoning a perfectly cut piece of meat and working on another dish at the same time.
それでこの下味をつけたら本当は一晩寝かせるんだけれど、こちらにすでに用意したものがあります。
これ料理番組だっけ？
I thought that was the theme of the show today.
じゃあこれをオーブンに入れている間にこの下味をつけておいた魚でアクアパッツァを作るね。
For some reason, Gil winked at me as he said that. Is he trying to advertise his cooking skills or something? I made a mental note to jot that down later as I was thinking about that someone bumped into me from behind. No, he's just trying to impress you. Oh my goodness.
あ、すみません。
Excuse me. Owen, are you okay? As I turned around, I saw Owen holding a plate of nothing on it but a jelly drink. Oh my goodness, for the president.
いえ、私も一応代理として家事をと思いまして。
How is that cooking? Owen, you just put a jelly drink on a plate and called it cooking.
え？
Oh? Oh my goodness. Owen and Mr. Snell both look equally surprised. Apparently, they seriously thought this counted as cooking. Mr. Snail loves that jelly drink, and his wife probably cooks for him, so he's never had to think about it. After giving over the shock, I looked over to see Alan lounging on a nearby couch. Alan, aren't you going to cook something?
ああ、俺実は料理って自分で作ったことないんだよね。
Yeah, I don't think so.
自分で作ったことない？
自分一人だと面倒で作らないし、それに大抵女の子がいつも作ってくれるからさ、必要ないでしょ？
Alan looked directly at the camera and unleashed one of his disgustingly sweet smiles.
いい男だね。でも手を出したらやけどしそうだぜ。
やけどよりも体を熱くしてやるよ。
Oh my
だ
goodness.
から俺の家はいつでも料理を作ってくれる女の子大歓迎だよ。
I hope he doesn't act like this in his route. It's going to be so embarrassing to read.
自分で作ればいいじゃないか。
はあ？ギル君は女の子に作ってもらうの反対派？
Gil seemed surprisingly annoyed by Alan's matter-of-fact question.
そりゃそうだよ。男は女の子に尽くすのが一番だって思ってるからね。
でもさ、それってエゴじゃない？
I know my husband likes what I cook for him.
どういう意味だよ。
Uh-oh. Music stopped.
君が良かれと思ってやってる家事ってさ、本当に女の子が望んでいるものだって思ってる？俺は女の子がやりたいことをやらせるのが一番だって思ってる。だから尽くしてもらうし、シェアするんだ。
やってもらっておいてそんな態度ないだろ。大体エゴなんかじゃない。俺の家事にみんな満足してるはずだ。そうだよね。
Well,
正直洗濯物の扱いは雑だよね。今あんたが着てるその服も本当は陰干し必須だけど、やってないから若干色が抜けてるし。
oh no, everyone's going to chastise guilt.
それは。
相手の 100% 望む家事なんて誰にもできやしない。それに尽くすのが好きだって女の子もいるんだよ。君は知らないのかもしれないけど。
でも誰だって家事をしてもらったら嬉しいはず。
I know I would. But I don't like cleaning, so.
俺はよく料理を食べてもらえて幸せって言ってもらってるよ。そういう喜びの提供も男の役目じゃない？
でも女の子にばっか負担させるなんて不平等だ。絶対ダメだよ。俺は女の子の立場に立って。
それがエゴだって言ってるんだよ。女の子によって欲しいものは違う。それをちゃんと考えて尽くさなきゃただの押し付けだ。今日の料理だって作りすぎじゃない？これを女の子に出したらさすがに惹かれるよ。
でもネットで女子が好きな食べ物ランキングの上位5つを作ったつもりだけど。
こんな太りそうな料理が人気なの？だからみんな偏差値が低いんだよ。
太りそうな料理？そんなことないよね。君はこれ好きだよね。
He was practically pleading with me. I looked over at all the food he made and decided to respond as his advisor. Well, to be honest, the calorie count does concern me, and you made so much, even everyone here couldn't finish it all. Aww.
そんな。
Oh, poor Gil.
ほら言ったろ？こんなハイカロリーの食べ物を君のために作ったなんて女の子に言ってごらんよ。プレッシャーだぜ。
でも俺はただ喜んでもらいたくて。
その気持ちがプレッシャーなんだよ。ゲルはさ、自分のテクニックに自信がないから家事して許してもらおうって思ってるんじゃない？
はあ？テクってそんなもんどうでもいいじゃん。
それは重要だと思うよギル。
ラウルまで。
信じられないなら彼女で試してみようか。気持ちいい夢を見せてくれる男と一方的に尽くしてくる男のどっちがいいって。
くそ、そんなこと言うならさぞや立派なもん持ってるってことだよな。
Oh my goodness.
もちろん。
No.
疑うなら見せてやろうか。
No.
君も見せることが条件でだけど。
I know it's not going to, but still.
望むところだ。
Oh my goodness. Huh? Wait. Oh my gosh. They actually did. That's funny. As I quickly covered Pete's camera with both hands, I heard the sounds of undressing from behind me. Oh my
ど
goodness.
うだ、立派だろ。
へえ、思ってたよりでかいんだ。せっかく立派なもん持ってるならなおさらそっちで奉仕すりゃいいのに。
I want to read this.
俺は女の子とは真摯に向き合いたいんだ。体の関係とかは両思いになって順序を踏んでやりたいし。
俺のはどう？
Don't. Oh my goodness.
ラウルまで脱がないでよ。しかも俺よりでかいし。
They're doing this in front of her? Why? And look, there's glass windows behind you.
ちょっと汚いの見せないでくれない？
じゃあ君のは綺麗ってこと？
Oh my gosh. I don't.
勝手に脱がすなよ。別に見られて困るもんじゃないけど。
This is not okay.
おい、お前たち何を。
What are you doing? They're gonna do you too, aren't they? Oh my goodness.
シェルビーも見せてよ。実は初回の時に思ってたんだけど、シェルビーの裸って古代ローマの彫刻みたいでいいよね。
It can't be good for his public image though. Oh my goodness.
おい、やめろ。
ラウル、俺も古代ローマの彫刻みたいだよね。なんとか言ってよ。
What about Rao? He's the one that started this whole thing and he's just sitting there not having to compete.
ていうか、サイズよりやっぱテクニックじゃない？
Oh my goodness.
アランが見せろって言ったんだろ。
俺は見せてやろうかって言っただけで、別に見せてほしいなんて一度も言ってないけど。
言ったな。
Just
ち
tackle
ょっ
him.
と誇り立てないでよ。
Oh my goodness.
ふむ、サイズというのは男にとって大切なものなのか。
Oh my gosh. No.
私のも見てもらうとしようか。
I hope the camera is off now. Peter, no, do not take your clothes off and don't move the camera or you'll just show everything. Just stop moving. Oh my goodness.
わお、なんかのミスで中継が切れちゃったぜ。通信状況が悪かったのかな？
That doesn't stop the sound from coming through though, right?
じゃあ仕方ない。あとまだ15分あるけど、通信状況が復活するまでこのボンバーチョリソーがお相手だ。いやー、それにしてもみんなからは立派にそれぞれ女の子を大切にする気持ちが伝わってきたね。さすが婚活男子。それで
Hope Lynette smacks him around.
というわけで、僕としては一番大事なのはハートかなと思うわけで。もう15分経った？番組終わり？わお、中継復活できないまま終わっちまったぜ。テレビの前のみんな、ソーリー！でも次回はきっと素敵な回になると思うよ。みんな、ぜひ来週も楽しみにしてくれよな。ボンバーチョリソーでした。バイ。
Bye. I really like how he says that.
バカな奴らめ、自滅していった。これで勝機は我らにやってきた。今こそ痛い目を見せてやる。
He looks like the silhouette of like one of the gods. I don't know how to explain it though.
そんなんだから、ギルはお母さん止まりなんだよ。
うっさいな。俺のことは放っておけよ。
He's so upset. He's like going all out now. Hey guys, and Alan just got out scot-free. The live broadcast has ended, but the urging was far from over. Arguing, sorry.
ラグナロクみたい。
Ragnarok.
だからそういうコンプレックスを隠して女の子が望まないことしてるから、いつまでも失恋パラサイトなんだよ。
女の子の気持ちを無視した略奪パラサイトには言われたくない。少なくとも俺は。
Hey, knock it off, both of you. I slammed my hands on the table and yelled as loud as I could. They finally stopped arguing, although they were still naked.
いつから君そこに？
She's been there the whole time. I've been here the whole time, and the show's over, in case you care.
あ、本当だ。俺たちの全裸地上波乗っちゃった？
Luckily for you, I managed to cover the camera, but now I need you all to put your clothes on and sit down. I glared at them as they sheepishly got dressed. Gil looked especially embarrassed, but made an effort to look at me.
ごめんリネット。
Just sit down, Gil.
はい。
He did as I asked, and I just folded my arms across my chest and continued to glare at them. Parasite 5, listen up. None of you have any desire to get married, and none of you care about the feelings of the women around you.
俺はだって
Gil, you always go too far without thinking about the other person. You need to think about her and get some perspective. Alan, enough with the one-night stands. Unless you show me some desire to get married, we're going to revoke your membership.
俺は夢を見させるって言っただけなんだけどな。
We all know what that's a euphemism for.
というかそのごめんね君の前で脱いだりして変なもの見せちゃったというか
Yeah, you need to think before you act. That's not what I'm mad about. I don't care about seeing some naked body.
興味ない
The heart of the problem here is... I couldn't remember the last time I had seen Chi, but then all of a sudden he just appeared out of nowhere. Chi, wait, what is it? My cell phone? Uh-oh. My phone was on the table and she was desperately circling around it. I decided to investigate. Huh? There's a flood of comments coming in. Earlier I searched hashtag Parasite House on Instagram and left the app open. Now I was staring at a wall of awful comments. Uh-oh. Complainer mom. Dang, that was raunchy. Don't they realize children could have been watching? Who the heck is in charge of Cupid Corp anyway? Everyone in the house is super attractive, but they're also dumb as hell. I think I'm done with the show. I just want to see Rao, but then he's not getting on any screen time at all. This sucks. Oh my goodness.
炎上何
This is really bad. Scrolling through the comments, I saw nothing but negativity. Even Rao's diehard fans were upset. Then his agent called. Uh-oh. Hello, this is Lynette.
ちょっとうちの俳優になってことさせるんです。下まで脱ぐのは NG ってお伝えしていますよね。
I thought the camera turned off. I'm very sorry.
今、映画の出演を控えていて大切な時期なんです。妙なイメージがつくようでしたら、今後の出演は取りやめますから。
Of course, I'm really sorry. I promise nothing like this will happen again. She hung up. I glanced over at the Parasite 5. They were still sitting and looking appropriately ashamed.
まあそのなんていうか大人げなかったことは謝るよ。
I know you started this whole thing.
ギル。
いや俺もちょっとカッとなっちゃってごめん。確かにエゴの押し付けだよな。
そうだね。
ごめんなさい。
でも押し付けもたまにはいいんじゃない？他人の押し付けがなければこういうご飯食べることないし。
That's funny. I was like, try what? He said the word food in there in Japanese, but I didn't see that translated anywhere. Rao had slipped out of my little lecture and was eating a plate of Gil's food. Excuse me, we're not done talking.
でもちょうどさっきオーブンが鳴ってたし、この料理も出来たてでしょ？食べないと冷めちゃってもったいないじゃないか。
I know, can you imagine if like the fire alarm went off because you let something burn? Rao continues to eat completely unfazed. I felt slightly listless seeing him so relaxed, but he had a point. It wouldn't be right to let that cooking go to waste. Sigh. Oh, fine, let's eat for now. We can't tackle this comment section on an empty stomach. I didn't think it would be good to eat such a caloric meal right now, but fighting commenters means having a hearty meal. Plus, part of me wants to give in to stress eating, so I sat down next to Rao to join him. Gil had been preparing this dish since last night, so naturally it was superb. Afterwards, I don't know what to do right now. After taking a bath and freshening up, I looked at the official Parasite House blog and brainstormed. I thought about going on the defensive, but I couldn't find the right words. If I say the wrong thing, it could cause a scandal. What do I do? PR is best in moments like this, but it's already late at night. Even if I reach out, I can't get a response until tomorrow. It's terrifying to let things get away from you, so I don't feel like sleeping. Someone put a cup down next to my laptop. I look up and see Gil standing there.
さっきはごめん。ハーブティー入れたんだ。よければ飲んでもらえるかな。
Thanks.
さ、ブログ俺に書かせてもらえない？
Huh?
それ、今日の炎上についてのブログを書いているんだよね。なら俺が書きたいなって思って。元はといえば俺のせいで炎上したわけだし、俺からの言葉の方がきっといいと思うんだ。
Are you sure?
うん。今はフリーエディターだけど、本当はライターを夢見てたから、文章を書くのは好きなんだ。
Come to think of it, he did say something about that. While we were in college, Gil often talked about writing down his thoughts and emotions. So since it's still the main story, I'm going to go ahead and say don't let Gil bear the brunt, which is the correct answer. I feel like I should write the post as the Cupid Corp employee. After all, Gil sparked all the comments. I'm still worried.
やっぱり信用ないか。
Oh. No, that's not it. Please, you write the post. I turned my laptop to Gil and he started writing an update post with a serious expression.
本当にごめんね。
Oh, that looks really cute there. About what happened earlier.
うん。君がせっかく一生懸命番組を盛り上げようとしてくれてたのに台無しにしちゃった。俺さ、多分図星だったんだと思う。自分に自信がないから家事で振り向いてもらおうって思ってた。
Huh? You're not confident in yourself, Gil?
うん。だってほら、大学時代とか結構服装にも無頓着だったし、別にモテるわけじゃなかったし。
I think you actually were.
卒業して服とかも見直すようにしたけれど、根本的に華やかなラウルやアランたちとは違うって劣等感があって、だから余計に腹が立ってあんな風にカッとなっちゃったんだよ。アランの言葉も正論だったのにさ。
I don't think everything he said was right. I wanted to reject the idea that girls only wanted one thing. I also wanted to change his opinion about only needing technique. Gil seemed to partially agree, so he was quiet. I heard the click-clack of the keys as Gil resumed speaking to me.
君はどっちの言い分の方が共感できた？
What do you mean?
その、君は尽くされたい？それとも尽くしたい？
He's so cute. That's a hard question. If Gil waited on me like he does now, I'd be terrified, but I don't necessarily want to wait on others like that either. I don't think it's about submission, though. Relationships should be about being equals. I think that's the best way.
支え合う？
Because waiting on someone hand and foot means you're just being who the other person wants and not yourself. Otherwise, you're just ignoring that person's morals and values. I don't want that. Mutual appreciation and respect would be my ideal relationship.
そっか。なんだか君らしいね。
Gil gave a wan smile and turned his attention back to his laptop. I only heard loud typing noises after that. I drank the herbal tea he made for me while I sat next to him. Maybe it's the tea, maybe it's Gil's presence, but suddenly I felt all of my worries untangle themselves. I started feeling drowsy and fell asleep right then and there. Oh my goodness, on the table. Is he gonna take you back to your bed? squint my eyes as the sun shines brightly through the window. Huh? When did I fall asleep? Gasp with the comments! I lean up and head straight to the living room to open up my laptop. Huh? All the nasty comments have stopped. In a surprising twist, the Instagram hashtag was filled with positive, pleasant messages praising the blog post. They're saying that the post was good, really good. Speaking of blog posts, Gil wrote it last night. I was too exhausted and dozed off partway through it. So, what about the blog post? I open the Parasite blog and see close to 300 comments. What is this? I thought it would be filled with insults. I scroll through it to see them. Huh? It's mostly positive. I wonder what Gil wrote about, so I scroll through the blog again, but then the living room door opened. Read it to us.
Ohayo.
Wow, the nasty comments from last night have finally calmed down. What happened?
なあ、ギルのブログのおかげだろう。昨日更新する前に見せてもらった。
Mr. Stale took out his phone and showed it to me. He already had the original post pulled up. Good evening, Gil Lovecraft here. I'm the one they call the Lovelorn Parasite. I apologize to everyone who saw my shameful behavior on today's broadcast of Parasite House. After reflecting on my actions, I apologized to Alan for our fight. Ultimately, we decided to respect one another and talk through our disagreement. Honestly, I think it was wrong of me to think my opinion was the only correct one in the first place. Alan and I are two different people from different backgrounds. It's okay that we have different values and ideals. I guess I forgot that and tried to push my own values onto others. That's what caused that fight I wish no one saw. I'm really sorry about that. From now on, we won't flat out deny one another's opinions. However, we also won't ignore our own feelings either. We'll respect each other and work together to meet in the middle and find different solutions. When complete strangers live together, it's natural that problems will occur. We have to remember that. We are strangers after all. We should acknowledge that there are people who live by a creed different from our own. Still, that doesn't mean we should assume the worst of someone new. Even strangers can find common ground to stand on. That's how I want to live my life. I think connecting like that would make living much more fulfilling. Gil Lovecraft.
ふん。ギルって文章上手なんだ。意外。
そうそう、ギルっていい文章書くんだよね。前に俺のインタビューに来てくれた時もいい感じの記事書いてくれたよ。
Wow, I didn't know that. I reread the post one more time and was impressed with it. At the same time, I heard the living room door open.
あ、みんな、おはよ
う。おはよう、みんな。
Gil and Alan entered the living room, both looking a little sheepish. Then they bowed to us simultaneously.
みんな、昨日は本当にごめん。
俺もごめん。ギルに反論したのも、みんなを巻き込んだのも、大人げなかった。
It's alright.
そうだよ。もう終わったことだし、反省すれば十分。ああ、謝罪はこのブログで十分だろう。ギル、いい文章をありがとう。
ありがとう。なんか書いたもの褒められるって照れるな。で、ごめん、寝坊して朝ごはん作りそびれちゃったな。今作るから。
いいよ。たまにはその。
Oh.
僕が作るから。
What is Ryuki-kun going to make for us? Ryuki-kun, you're going to cook. She said that.
これからはお互いを尊重するんでしょ。
He looks a little bit sheepish himself. That's cute. With a slightly embarrassed look on his face, Ryuki headed into the kitchen. Gil's post seemed to have moved the other members of the Parasite 5 as it had the viewers. At least let me help, Ryuki-kun.
そういうのいいから。あんたはその寝起きの顔をどうにかしてきて。
You need to do something about your face. I guess he hasn't changed completely. I made for the bathroom before he could blast me with his usual mist. But still, I turned around to see everyone making breakfast together.
あ、ダメだよ。そこは玉ねぎが先で。
バカじゃないの？そうしたら栄養素が壊れるんだよ。
Let him cook. You're not in charge today.
そうなの？そっちの方が美味しいからいいんだと思ってた。そっか。栄養素か。
They were as rowdy as ever, but they were being a lot nicer with each other. Amazing considering how they were on day one. They were all indifferent to each other back then, but now they were actually talking to each other. It was a big step forward. Last night's fight was a big problem at first, but in the end it helped them all grow a little. Maybe they'll be alright. By the time this show ends, I'm sure they'll all be ready to find good partners. That was my thought as I headed for the bathroom. It's funny that section was called Pride of Man. Men really pride that, probably. This is definitely where we're stopping. One night after dinner. Yep, this is definitely where we're stopping because it's almost 2 hours in, so like an hour 40 minutes, I guess, cutting. Anyway, as I always say, I hope you guys enjoyed. This was a little awkward to say during this kind of an episode, but whatever. That was certainly an interesting one. Thinking about it, I wish I would have stopped before this section, so that way that could have been in like a different one because so much happened in this episode. We had a date with Ryuki, we went to the wedding, and then there was the crazy episode at the Parasite house. Anyway, yep, so there's scene 1, 2, 3. There's 3 more sections left. So one more episode and then we'll be going down Ryuki's route. Which finally, because actually this common route is kind of taking a long time. And she's not really going one way or another with anyone. I guess if anyone, she's kind of leaning towards Ryuki. She has the most contact and interaction with him, and I don't know if that's being influenced by the choices or not. So I'm curious to see how the common route goes for the other ones, if there's different choices and whatnot. If the different choices like changes the every section. Obviously, we're planning on having a date with Ryuki in the next common route, I would think, but I don't know. I am curious to find out. Anyway, as always, drop a like down below if you enjoyed it and or subscribe if you want to see the rest of Cupid Parasite. And I will see you guys in the next one or in the future blessings if you guys are also watching that. Bye.